All right, we live in Alpine, Mississippi. So I have to get my better camera out here because you can't make this shit up. All right, these are not stars. See that drone there? And I encourage all victims to have some good cameras and not just your phone. But we're gonna get out here. The bright ones are not stars. They try to post up like constellations and all this. Okay, that's a drone, drones. All these drones here, okay? So there's at least 12. Now, Alpine is not a thriving metropolis. Now, look up here, the only traffic you're gonna get, this is Friday night, it's stalkers. It's stalker right there. There goes a punk stalker. You got these drones out here moving. So we got 12 drones posted up. This is tax dollars, folks. These people ain't paying out of pocket. And believe it or not, we got a roadblock out here. Blue lights posted up here next to my house. So we got 12 drones, maybe more. It could be 20 or more. You know, I have to get out here with lights and stuff and move them. People say, well, they're stars. Well, I got a way, a real quick way. First of all, if you know a little bit about astronomy and a little bit about a drone, then that's out of the equation. So I'm filing 2 more new motions in the court cases that I have against Lee County Sheriff's Department as well as Union County Sheriff's Department and their obstruction of justice. And this posted up out there like that could be for somebody else. That roadblock could be for somebody else. But this gives you an idea of what hayseed podonks do when you exercise your constitutional protected freedoms. They do not like it. They don't want to be questioned. And that's the way they operate. Community-oriented policing, when they target an individual, of course, then they're insulting to the target and to their family. They're delusional. I even had law enforcement say they're delusional. They're not saying that anymore. Even though they're pathological liars, and everybody that participates in community-oriented policing are liars, period. I got some posted up back here behind me. Drones everywhere. So this is their shock and awe. And every time they do something like this, I show up. Believe me, I bring my A game. This will be duly noted, and maybe Judge Vaden and Judge Mills, district court judges, maybe they'll be humored by it. Maybe they'll think it's funny that they're thumbing their nose at the federal judicial proceedings, because that's exactly what they're doing. So as these creeps, they posted up out here making racket. You got all these drones out here. And so as when they target an individual, and I spoke to a guy yesterday, they had a guy and a girl moved in. They had anywhere to stay, so he let them stay at his house. He got behind. He's a self-employed carpenter, almost 60 years old, and his COVID deal put him behind on his taxes. He got a past due notice on his property taxes, $48. Now they were sending notices that they were going to sell his property for the taxes, but they were mailing that to a different address. He didn't give them that address. The couple staying with him stole the house and the land 2 months ago for $48. Lee County Sheriffs went out there to evict him and set him an appointment with Judge Hopkins. He is a justice court judge in Tupelo, Mississippi. He's the one that just at will, if you're a targeted individual, anybody can walk in. If the top of their head doesn't hit the door going in, he'll gladly sign a warrant, a bogus warrant. It didn't have to have any merit, just whatever you want to tell him, and they'll make sure that they'll arrest you on a weekend night, drag you and torture you in that jail for 3 or 4 days, pay a bondsman, and they abuse you through the system. Something they'll never go to court. They don't care, but they got their rocks off on the unlawful arrest. He said, you know, I believe the tax assessor was in on this. I said, well, put your fears to rest. Of course they were. This is the holistic approach. So we have the tax assessor, the judge, the sheriff's department, and the individuals in there that it's okay. I've had these coward stalkers tell me right here in Union County, we can break in your house, we can steal your property, we can assault you, and when you call the sheriff's department, they're not going to do anything. Another time, two individuals came out here. One is known to me, the other one wasn't. And unbeknownst to me, something was put in my water. It was tasteless, odorless, and I was given a cocktail of death, left for dead. That was witnessed and videoed, everything. It was being viewed by someone remotely from the outside. They were getting the voice and what they were talking about, and she thought I was dead. She couldn't get me on the phone. All this information was given to Union County Sheriff's Department. Did they take the evidence? Did they take the... No. He said, and I say, this Cortland Tanner Vaughn, Sheriff Jimmy Edwards is not happy about that lawsuit. They left me for dead. So murder for hire, all these things are completely acceptable. People wonder, why can't we find Jessica Stacks? Well, I can tell you, because you got these narrow-minded cults. These people, they think what a normal person defines moral as versus what they define it is two different things. A lie to a normal person is the truth to these people. You're talking to people with no brains. They just get a blank look and they'll growl, and the best they can do is name call about how they justify whatever the hell they're doing. You know, they're all for freedoms and rights and all that until they start taking it away from other people. Then, you know, well, that's different. And no, it's not different. And so these pathetic, incestuous inbreeds have not seen the last and won't see the last of me. We're going to keep putting them on blast. And this absolutely makes the sheriff, I understand this to be his last term, but it doesn't matter. You can rest assured he's not the only one on that document. He's not the only one on that document. These civil proceedings are for the express reason to trigger criminal investigation from the Department of Justice, misuse of federal funds. What they're doing with targeting American citizens is not legal. Now, that's the reason it's a secret. That's the reason they're in denial. That's the reason they lie. That's the reason they play stupid. But I got the goods on them. The COPS program is a national program. And just like Pasco County Sheriff's Department, and just like these asshole amateur bedfellows here that think that's real cute. Of course, they're going to be within several thousand feet. They're in the gray area. See, legally, they can do that. Who in the hell's paying for all that? We're paying for it. This right here. This is how they harass and antagonize all these dumpy, trashy trailers and stuff. And nobody lives in the thing. They got some trash lives over in some of them other trashy trailers. And they're here to stalk. Loud muffler, stalk, toothless wonders. So there you have, folks, all in a night's work in Alpine, Mississippi. And check my latest blog out on WordPress on the new face of the Ku Klux Klan, and how a little over 3 years ago they lured me up here at what was probably meant a death trap. But it's the new face of the Ku Klux Klan. They wear the hoods. They're alive and well. They've got the state